Hi, this is Munson from Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play through the Halloween theme song. And we're going to start out with this cool little sequence actually that gets moved around quite a bit on the guitar, where you can start 9th fret on the high E string, and then go 7th fret on the B string twice, and then we do that again, doing the 9, 7, 7, and then we do 9, 7 one more time, and then we go to 10th fret on the high E, and then we go back to the 7 on the B string. And that is the main lick actually through the tune. We end up taking that and kind of moving it around. So we got kind of 9, 7, 7, 9, 7, 7, 9, 7, 10, 7, 9, 7, 7, 9, 7, 7, 9, 7, 10, 7. And we end up doing that about 9 times from the beginning. And then we move it down 1 fret and we do that same idea, but now we're on 8th fret and 6th fret. So that might be kind of a cool thing to do, is kind of take that one idea and then kind of move it around. And then if we do that twice, and then kind of go back to our 9-7 lick, and then we go back to our 8-6 lick, and we do that twice, and then from there, then we slide down 1 more fret to 7th and 5th fret. And actually, this kind of idea in music is called a sequence, because we're kind of sequencing our main idea, kind of taking the idea and doing it on different notes. And then from there, then we go down to 6th fret and 4th fret and do that same idea. And we do that twice. And then from there, then we go back to the 7th fret on the high E and kind of do that same idea on the 7th fret again. And then from there, then we go back to our 6-4 and kind of do that same idea. And then from there, then there's really big push where we play 2nd fret on the high E string with the open B, kind of sequencing the lick now, but we don't actually have to hold down the other note of the lick. We're kind of going 2nd on the high E, open B twice, 2nd on the high E, open B twice, 2nd on the high E, open B, 3rd fret on the high E string, and then back to open B. So you're kind of working that 2 0 0 2 0 0 2 0 3 0 2 0 0 2 0 0 2 0 3 0 2 0 0 2 0 0 2 0 3 0 2 0 0 2 0 2 0 3 0, and kind of working that lick. And then from there, then we go back to our 9-7 actually, and kind of like almost an intro return at the very end of kind of that main lick. Now there are some cool little bass licks through this too, actually around that 7 and 9. Where there's this cool little push from an F sharp note to an A note that kind of backs that lick up. And if you wanted to, you could kind of hybrid pick this, or actually even fingerstyling this can feel really good to kind of get that 9th fret note on the A string in around that first lick, and then do 7th fret on the D string kind of for the second idea of that lick. And then when we do our sequence down to the 8 and 6, you could add an 8th fret on the D string to kind of back up that lick. So you could kind of do that twice. From there, then we'd be going back, so we'd be having our 9 on the A string to kind of back up our first lick. And we do that, and then we do it with the 7th fret on the D. But then we end up with the 8th fret on the D string to kind of back up that lick. And you can even kind of replay that if you wanted to. And then from there, when we get to the 7th fret and the 5th fret for our lick, you could add that in, or add in an open E on the first part of that. First time through, and then the open G the second time through. And then from there, then we go to 8th fret on the D, or 7th fret, 6th fret on the D string to kind of back up the 6th fret on the high E and the 4th fret lick that we were doing. So it's almost like a similar shape to the one we were just doing. And so then from there, then we would be repeating that. So you'd be going back to the open E with the 7-5 lick, doing the open G the second time through, and then going to that 6th fret on the D string kind of for that next part of the lick. So kind of working them together. So I'm using my thumb for my bass player and my fingers for the other notes of the lick. And then from there, then we end up with kind of our 2nd fret on the high E string with the open B string. That's kind of that main idea around that. And there's some bass notes that kind of could back that up too, where you can start 2nd fret on the A string to kind of back up that first time through, and then open D on the second time through, and then open E on the third time through, and then second fret on the low E string for the fourth time through. So that could be a cool idea to kind of try and work that as a two-part, kind of that 2 and 2 together. Open D, open E, second on the low E, 2 on the A string, open D, open E, second on the low E string. And then from there, then we kind of go back to kind of our main lick from the very beginning. 9 7 9 7 7 9 7 7 9 7 10 7 9 7 7 9 7 7 9 7 10 7 9 7 7. So it might be kind of a cool way to kind of work it through the tune actually, and the fingerstyle might feel really, really good actually. You know, kind of working that two part. At least I think that sounds a lot better for myself. Just to kind of work that almost like a two-part through the tune. It's almost like kind of being able to kind of back up the whole orchestra yourself in a way, kind of adding in that bass note. So 9, and then 7 on the D for your bass, 8 on the D string for your bass, 8 on the D, and then we'll get to the 7s, we'll get the open E, the 6 on the D string, 6 on the D, and then we're about to open E with the 7 5, open G, and then we got the 6 on the D string, 6 on the D, and then the 2 and 2 together, open D, open E, 2 on the A, open D, open E, 2 on low E, and maybe back to kind of that intro lick. So it might be kind of a cool way to kind of work that as a fingerstyle thing. Or you can even add in more basses. Kind of play around with that and see how you want to kind of arrange it too, but that's the main lick, man. But that's the basics of how you could kind of strum through or fingerstyle or kind of lead through the main theme from Halloween. So good luck! Happy Halloween!